Hello everyone, welcome to the Oasis Healing Temple. Today we're going to do an energy check-in. So what that means is we're going to tune into your energies and see what's going on in your energy field at the moment. Things seen and unseen, so what you may be experiencing already and some things that may be coming up ahead that you may not be aware of. So it's going to kind of be like a little two-part reading. We'll see what's going on now and what will be taking place within a few weeks' time, okay? So tune into your intuition and choose a pile that's speaking to you, and I will let you know what the energies are saying at the moment. So for pile number 1, we have the Elders card with rainbow fluorite. For pile number 2, we have the Fire and Water card, and that is with the Amethyst. For pile number 3, we have the Lemurian Shaman, and that is with Lapis Lazuli. Alright, so these are your pile choices for today. Just pause the video if you need more time to meditate. The timestamps will be located in the description box below, and I'll see you all at your readings. Hello everyone who is drawn to pile number 1. This is your reading. This is going to be your energy check-in, and you guys were drawn to the Elder card with the rainbow fluorite. And this is a crystal of mind, body, and spirit synergy, okay? So this is coming into alignment with something. And you were drawn to the Elder card, and we have 2 cards for you guys. This is from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle. I love this book, this deck. I just received this for Christmas, and I am in love with the wisdom that comes through these cards. So your card says spiritual mentoring, equality, stability, wisdom, experience, and counsels. And your other card is stepping stones. It says take the next step, let go of the old paradigm. Okay, so what I'm feeling for you guys is that your soul is ready for the next step. And your guides are connecting to you with the Elders card here. Your guides are directing you to be brave, to take the next step, all right? To take that leap of faith, to trust, to move forward. There's something new that you are awakening to. Coming into alignment to a new path, a new beginning. And you're being asked to let go of the past, to be brave, and to step onto this new path. And this, you've attained a certain level of awakening, of wisdom. And this is rooted, grounded, stable energy here. And yeah, there's some new experiences coming in for you in the path ahead, and you're going to be guided to take certain steps, okay? We have card number 8 and 6. 8, shifting timelines, a cycle of growth, a cycle of achievement, strength, abundance, wealth even, limitless potential. The peacock is agreeing. We have number 6 here. The peacock. Don't be afraid to shine your light, to step into your truth, to express your authentic self. We have 6, creating a nurturing environment. Yeah, loving yourself. Love, balance, empathy, harmony, material comforts. Beautiful. All right, so we have 2 different decks here. For this pile right here, this is going to be your current energy, and this is going to be the energy that you do not see currently, the energies that are around you, and any advice that wants to come in. So for right now, let's see. What can we see taking place in your energy at the moment? We have insecurity. Okay, so you're afraid to step forward, afraid to, afraid to move on, afraid to let something go. We have growth. This is going to bring in new growth for you. And that's the thing. You're growing. You're evolving. Let go of any fears that you have about moving forward. You've learned a lot of lessons. You've overcome something, and it's time for you to let your guard down and to embrace this new path that's unfolding. Yeah, look, we have release. Let go of your fears. Let go of your insecurities. Perhaps you don't think that you're good enough, or, you know, I have this too, you know, sometimes there's self-doubt about, you know, my path or about my purpose. Who am I to be sharing this wisdom, you know, and, you know, sometimes we compare ourselves to others, and if our skills are good enough, or if they live up to a certain amount of standards, you know. And here's the thing, like, you have to step away from that and trust the wisdom, trust the advice that's coming to you, because your guides speak to you through, like, you have your own connection to your guides, to your ancestors, to your higher self, to Source Creator. And each of us, we have our own ways to communicate with our guides. And some of us receive messages through song, through lyrics on the radio. Some of us tap into angel numbers. Some of us just have a direct channel where we communicate, you know, telepathically with our guides. Some of us have clairaudience where we hear our guides. Some of us receive messages through nature. You know, we all just communicate and connect in different ways. And so the wisdom that you have to offer, that you have experienced, you know, our knowledge is gained, wisdom is gained through experience, okay? And so once we experience something, the knowledge of it turns into our wisdom. And so you have to trust what you know. Trust your guides. Trust that you are being guided. Trust that you are being, that you are enough, okay? And to let go of any fears about making this step forward, and to letting go of the old versions of self, maybe the old ways of doing things, and to step onto this new path. We have faith. I love it. Yeah, have faith. See, look at your guides. You're being offered something new here. Yeah, and she's holding earth, about to give birth to something new. Something is being crystallized here, being grounded. This looks, to me, see, there's a cup. There's an offering that's coming in here of divine wisdom. Something that's going to bring a lot of peace. It's going to bring that new beginning, a new path. But you have to let go of your fears, and you have to allow yourself to grow. You're growing. You're growing into a new version of self. We have the root of fire. Risk it all. Nice. I love it. With this coming through, I'm feeling the violet flame, you know, the phoenix rising up from the ashes, transforming. This can also be the Ace of Wands, new potential, new passions emerging. We have card number 23, which is a 5, change, adventure, freedom, freeing yourself from the past, freeing yourself from this old version of self, and embracing a new experience. This is transformation. You're transforming, pile number 1. And look, you have the ancestral force coming through with completion. You've completed a cycle. And you've attained a lot of wisdom from this experience. And it's okay to let it go and to trust the path. And to have faith in yourself, believe in yourself, believe in this new beginning, believe that you are worthy, that you are deserving, that you are enough. Pile number 1. We have 21, which is a 3, connecting us to the Trinity here. Cycles of change, mind, body, and spirit coming into alignment. Interesting. Okay, what else do we have? We have Mother God, miracles in motions. Nice. Woo. All right, so we have, that's the thing, you're aligning to, when we see like instant manifestation, it will appear as if a miracle has taken place, right? Which means that things have aligned, and things are aligning. We have all the planets here. There may be some specific planetary alignment that's going to take place for you, where something that you've been manifesting, something that you've been visualizing is going to be is going to be made manifest. All right, things are in motion, forward movement here, moving forward. Something has completed, and now it's time to move forward. And we have fertile ground. Look at that. We have this beautiful, like, queen goddess here who's holding this large pentacle with all these coins. And then we have this little cherub child of hers who's saying, oh, there's actually two of them. So the higher self and your inner child. Look at that. We have the Trinity coming through here. This is connection to your higher self and your inner child. And this is you, the divine elder, who is being guided and protecting at the same time here. And we have all of this. Look at these stacks of money. So you're going to be divinely supported here, financially supported. This is lots of abundance. This is, yeah, look at all this growth, the roses coming into your bloom, coming into like divine manifestation here. Yeah, lots of fertility. We have a 4. Yeah, stability here, financial stability. Yeah, you don't have to worry anymore. That's the thing. Let go of your fears, let go of your worries, lay them to rest. You can rest now because this is assured. This is what's waiting for you. This is the new paradigm that you're going to be stepping into, is the new earth energy of abundance. There's enough for everyone. Abundance is the frequency of new earth. So this is where you're moving to, is this new paradigm. And your guides are going to be supporting you. They're mentoring you. They're giving you spiritual guidance. They're sending you signs. They're helping you to take those steps moving forward. And we have the box, yeah, to get yourself out of the box here. Step outside the box. These are old patterns. Let go of this old version of yourself. Because this new version of yourself is, carefree, following your heart, knowing that you're guided every step of the way. Free yourself, transform yourself. You're transforming. You've learned all you can from this stage of learning, and now you're ascending onto a new path that's more abundant, that's more aligned with this new version of yourself. And anything, pay attention to where the information is coming from. Is it coming from your heart or is it coming from your mind? All right. Because when it comes from our mind, it's a denser energy. It's a lower vibration. And when it comes from your heart, it is lighter. It is more loving, more kind. It's a higher frequency. And that's how you'll know between your guides, who are guiding you, versus your fear. Okay, so pile number 1, you are moving forward onto a path that's more aligned with the person that you are becoming. And you're being asked to let go of any fears, to release any insecurities you have about not being enough, or there not being enough supplies or material goods, because something is going to be manifesting for you on this new path. But you have to have faith, and you have to choose to take those steps to move forward, okay? And to free yourself from limitations. Ooh, I hope y'all didn't hear that. What's my doggies are arguing in the room. Okay, so this may be things that you don't see here. So we have the fire card coming out. This is the connection to Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Some of you may be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leos. It doesn't necessarily have to apply, but some of you here are. But we have the fire element coming through to ignite passion, to transform the old energies, to transform the old version of yourself, and to ignite a passion within you, a new fire, a new desire, forward movement here. This is also masculine energy, giving you the courage and the confidence to step onto this new path here. We have the black cat. Your luck will soon change. I love that. Good. We have family, foundation, commitment, home, marriage, celebration, and security. Look at that. You're going to have this solid foundation, security. And again, we have the 3 here. So I feel like there's this beautiful connection to the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine. So that happy balance within. We have a happy home, happy family. This is a solid foundation that's coming in where you feel more secure, more happy. Ooh, and we have attract. Passion coming through again. Mutual feelings. So some of you may be attracting soul family, soul tribe, soul mate. This could even be healthy relationship within your own self, within your own being. That's going to feel more, and looking at passion coming through again. This can also be the new path, being guided to follow your passions. The more you follow your passions and step into that role, you're going to attract more luck, more growth, more fertile ground for yourself, more miracles coming in. Intuition, there you go. Trust your intuition, trust where you're being guided, trust your heart. We have frustration. This is what needs to be released, right? You need to let go of the frustration, things that don't work. If it's not working, there's a reason, right? You're being blocked from that door. That door's not open right now because a new path is opening up for you, and you're meant to go in that direction, all right? Use your intuition to guide you. We have isolation and surrender. Okay, so for those of you where this involves a relationship, release any fears about, not having the right person, or this not being the right person. Maybe some of you have had to walk away from a certain individual, and you can be feeling lonely or insecure, and this is telling you to let go of those fears, to surrender those fears. Have faith that this door that's opening, that wheels are turning, things are in motion for you to meet that right person, okay? For that right person to come in, and not to be afraid or to be, be insecure the times that you are alone. Because when we are given this opportunity, and you're being given an opportunity to be alone, and in this alone time is where you can connect to everything, to source, to the divine, to your higher self, to Mother Nature. You are one with all. You're not ever alone. Your angels, your guides, they're always with you. So at this moment in time is where you need to take that time to isolate yourself, remove yourself. And this could be Spirit has removed you from a situation or an individual who is not in an alignment with your current vibration, and let those people fall away, because there's a reason, there's a purpose for everything. And those individuals were the ones who you were learning lessons from. You were there to experience something through those relationships, and it's time for them to fall away, so that the new relationships, the new lessons, the people you're meant to work with now are going to be coming into your life. So a door is opening for those relationships to come in. We have resin, and we have Saturn. Okay. Yeah, this is where you felt stuck. And Saturn is the, this is the patterns. This is the, one who upholds the harvest here, the cycles, the patterns, Saturn sets boundaries, you know, and limitations, but he also enforces the divine law of karma, you know. So your harvest is going to be coming in, but you have to let go of what's not serving you. People, situations, jobs, insecurities, fears, whatever it is that needs to be let go of, so that you can receive your harvest, so that you can receive the wisdom of this experience, okay? Yeah, Saturn is it's the double edge here. It's the work that you have to put in so that you can receive the harvest. But it is the rule, though, that you receive what you have put in, okay? And it's not that karma is this bad thing, because karma can be good as well, right? It just upholds the balance, that's all. So this is about finding that balance and knowing that you are worthy and deserving of receiving your harvest, pile number 1. And that is the energy. This is taking that step to move forward to getting that harvest by releasing and letting all this go, releasing the past, so that you're no longer bringing that energy forward anymore. There's nothing there for you. You've learned all the lessons you can learn, pile number 1. And so if you continuously, you know, hold on to those memories and bring them up, they resurface again, and it keeps that energy alive. So it's time to let it go and let them transform, so that you can embrace this new path ahead, this new paradigm, this new version of self, where you are abundant, where there's fertile ground now because of everything that's transformed. You know, like in the fields and the forests and everything, where sometimes they have to, you know, they set the forest on fire, and the ashes bring that fertilizer to the seeds that are waiting to germinate below the soil, right? So that's what's taking place. Allow the fire and invoke that fire to transform the old version of yourself, the old experiences, and bring forward the wisdom now into that fertile soil and begin this new journey, healed and more aligned with your higher self and your divine purpose, okay? I'm going to get you a couple, we'll see how many want to come through. I'm going to try like maybe 2 or 3, we'll see. Messages for pile number 1 to finish off the reading. Can we get some advice, an animal guide they can work with as they step into this new version of self here? What animal guide wants to work with pile number 1? Who can they come upon? We have the fire tiger. Nice. Call upon the tiger. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. Ooh, I love that. Look at the fire coming through. You let that fire be your guide. Let your passion be your guide, okay? Step into this new version of yourself. Be bold and be brave, pile number 1. Okay, and we have the moose with wisdom. Let your head and mind reach to the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on the earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak through you. You know much. I love this card. Okay, so again, your ancestors coming through, letting you know that you have this wisdom within you, and to be bold to share your wisdom, that you are connected to the higher realms and you are very stable and grounded in the earthly plane, and use your passion to guide you. Let them speak through you. Okay, you had 2 more who wanted to come out, and we're going to take them. So we have the ladybug with good luck. You are bright energy. Let worry go and be happy here and now. Feel good about being a loving and colorful you. You bless the world with color and good luck. Ooh, yay. So embrace who you are. Let go of any insecurities that you may have about yourself, about being seen, the peacock. Speak your truth. Share your wisdom. Some of you are here to be a guide for others. You've such a beautiful light around you, pile number 1. And you bring good luck to others. And I feel like good luck is on your side. You have this beautiful magnetic energy. Very attractive. And it's because of your heart. Oh, and I love it. You have the elk with nobility. Celebrate your accomplishments with humility. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love that confirmation. And look, see these horns that are coming through? That is a sign of strength, a sign of wisdom. A lot of wisdom here. All right. And you deserve this, pile number 1. You deserve it for all the work that you've been through. Your guides are guiding you. Powerful forces are guiding you. You are very, very strong. You have overcome so much, and you should be so proud of yourself. And you're being asked to celebrate, to be open, to receive, step outside of this box that you've been in, and to shine your light. Okay? Free yourself from the energies of the past. Follow your intuition. Listen to your heart. Be bold. Be brave. Shine that beautiful light. Speak what you know. Allow your guides to guide you, pile number 1. And allow this harvest to come in. Woohoo! I'm so happy for you guys. You're in an alignment. And that is what your energy is telling you today. Woo! Thank you all so much for being in the temple with me today. You guys should be so proud of yourself. I'm happy for you all. I can't wait to see what the future brings for you guys. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that this reading resonated with you. I'd love to have you back for future readings. Sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hi, pile number 2. You guys were drawn to the fire and water card, as well as the amethyst crystal. So the amethyst for me connects to the crown chakra, your higher self, your true self, which is why it came out in this reading here. You were drawn to the fire and water. You also have the sovereignty card as well. So these are your 2 cards. I've split the reading into 2 different parts. So we have what's taking place in your energy field right now, and then what you may not be aware of is going to be in the second part, okay? So speaking on just these 2 cards here, there's something that is being released, something that needs to be released here so that you can step into your sovereignty, into your true self. The fire and water card says stillness amongst turmoil. Feel emotional integration. And then we have sovereignty with the right to choose and immunity to hooks, okay? So with these 2 coming out, I feel like this is an integration right here with fire and water, is the balance of the masculine and feminine energies to allow the emotions to flow and to, because there may be emotions that had been denied in the past, like in an old version of yourself. Maybe there were times where you were denying emotions or battling conflicting feelings, and perhaps where the heart and the mind were battling one another on ways to handle a situation, or even with your own relationship with yourself, right? So, and there may be eruptions of emotions that are coming to the surface for you, and they need to be cleansed, they need to be released, they need to be acknowledged, allowing them to flow. And I feel like you have been doing that. You've been stepping into that. That's what's in in your field right now, your field of awareness, is being able to go with the flow, to allow your emotions to flow. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words here. Allow your emotional body to integrate, to allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt so that you can release them and move forward. There, with the sovereignty here, the sovereignty card, you have the right to choose how you feel about a situation and how to move forward, the steps to take, who you allow to disrupt your peace, what emotion you're going to act upon, you know. And I feel like with the golden dragon here, this is about seeing things from a higher perspective and seeing the full picture before we just react and respond. This is taking a step back and responding from a place of stillness and calmness, you know, and making the choice to choose what you want to engage in, who you want to engage with, and being able to be immune from people disrupting your peace of mind, from disrupting your center and taking you off center. It's being firm, being stable, being confident in knowing your truth, discerning between when somebody's trying to knock you off of your balance and they want to disrupt your peace. You know, it's people who want to get you sidestepping in a different direction versus focusing on your path, focusing on your peace. People who are almost like attention seeking, or they see you, you know, loving yourself and finding your place and, you know, rising up and shining your light and being confident. And some people want to, you know, latch on and they want to attach to that. And sometimes it can be from a place of jealousy, or, you know, we're not afraid of you moving forward, afraid of being left behind. So they try to distract you so that you're not focused and centered, and they start pulling on your energy, you know, and wanting you to be there for them, to be more involved in their life, and almost like doing their work for them. And here's the thing, that's where we can set that example, but it's not our job to do the work for them, you know. And so we have this immunity to hooks where you're going to be rising above, you're going to be seeing the full picture, and those things that once may have had you, you know, at odds within yourself, you're going to be in this place of steady flow, of peace, of balance within, because you will realize that these are just distractions, you know, diverting you from your true path, from connecting to your divine light, your true self here with the crown chakra. Diversions. All right, let me put these, let's see if I can get these to stack like this here. And where should we put this? We'll put this one right there beside her. Oops. Let's scooch you up just a little bit. Okay. All right, let's take a look at these other cards. What do we have? We have impatience. Passion. Okay, you're learning to be patient with yourself, to be patient with others. We have soulmate and gossip here. The truth here. Yeah, you are... You are learning to discern between truth here. What's truth? What is wanting your attention? You know, what is false? What is just, you know, gossip, so to say? What is trying to occupy your time and your energy? and your focus and keeping you at odds with yourself here. You are learning not to engage in those types of energies anymore, and learning to stay centered, trusting your own intuition, trusting your own feelings, what you're intuiting from the energies and the people around you. We have creature of earth. Take charge. Nice. Yes. Taking charge. Setting the standards for your relationships and your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the environment around you, you know, becoming more consciously aware of what you want to engage in, what you want to entertain, you know, emotionally, vibrationally, mentally. We have the root of water, highly sensitive. Yeah, very empathic, very in tune, tuning into that emotional body here. With the fire aspect is about taking charge here, you know, standing in your truth, standing in your right to take charge of your life, to take charge of your emotions, not in the sense that you are allowing your emotions to take charge, you know what I mean? You're allowing them to flow, but you are not letting them be reactive, you know? You're not quick to engage in every little, you know, thing that's wanting to distract you. So like you can choose between what you want to lend your energy to, because some people, like I said, they want attention, they want to disrupt your peace, you know, or create chaos. When you are focusing on ascending, when you're focusing on evolving, learning and growing and expanding, some people don't want to see you doing better than them. Unfortunately, there are some people who are just jealous, and you know, they come from a place of being insecure, and they don't want to see you doing better, which is horrible, I know. But there are people out there that are like that, and it comes from a place of fear. But you are choosing to not entertain those energies, you know. It's choosing where you want your focus to be, what you want to be aligning yourself with, and who you want to be aligning yourself with, and feeling secure in those choices. And like you'll be able to discern between truth and who truly does want the best for you, and trusting in that discernment. Freeing yourself from those types of engagements and those relationships. There's people all the time that will try to, you know, just rile you up and get a response, a reaction out of you, you know, or they can try to take your power away, or go, ha ha ha, I knew they would be upset, or I knew this would make them mad, you know. And you can choose to be like, I'm not giving you any of my power, I'm not giving you that response, you're not going to manipulate me into doing something that you want me to do. I'm going to make conscious choices and make conscious actions, and I'm the one who can control who I let make me feel a certain kind of way, right? I choose the feelings that I want to engage in, and the people that I want to engage in, the situations I want to engage in, and what I let get a response, and who I let get a response out of me. You know, I choose my response to the situation based on my own sense of authority, and not needing anyone else's, you know, approval or love to make me feel, you know, complete or whole or connected or secure. Let me tell you your numbers here. So I have a number 39, which is a 12-3. So connection to body, mind, and spirit here. Cycles, trinities, expressing yourself, expressing your right to communicate, to create, to ground, to feel grounded and safe and secure. and to ground in this secure connection to your emotional bodies, to ground in your intuitiveness, your psychic abilities. Very telepathic here, which is why you're able to discern truth from somebody who is manipulating. And we have card number 28, which is a 10, endings and new beginnings, a new cycle, wholeness, completion, a new beginning. What do we have? We have the altar of fire, good juju, nice. I love that. Look at these pyramids here. You have this potential within you to have, you know, peace, grounding in that state of peace here. Transforming the old energies. Yeah, you can choose to see, you know, see beyond what's being presented to you and see the truth. This is also having a balanced relationship with yourself. That masculine and feminine energy that we were talking about at the beginning, where you have this strong connection with who you are, with your truth. You're able to flow, allow your emotions to flow, but you're also able to choose what you want to act and engage in, you know, following your passions and not engaging in this gossip energy, this negativity, this energy that wants to kind of just drain you and take from you and pull on you. You know, it's very dramatic, very attention-seeking energy. And we have, yeah, the chaos. You can be the light amidst the chaos here. And that's what you're doing, is finding that peace within. And even when things around you seem very chaotic, you're able to have that centeredness, that groundedness within you. Hang on, I've got to turn off my heater here because it is, this fire that's coming through is really getting me warm. And we have card number 22 and a card number 13. This is a 44 here, so we have 22 and 44. This is a level of mastery here. And connecting to the Ascended Masters, your angels, guiding you, giving you strength and resilience on the path so that you can feel more stable, more secure. That solid connection within yourself, that sovereignty here, so that you can feel secure in your ability to be sovereign. Not needing outside energies or sources to tell you, you know, who you are, how to feel. You are the one who's connecting to your higher self and your truth here, your true feelings. Ooh, we got the matriarch, nurture the harvest. Ooh, I love that. See how she's holding her her inner child here, making the inner child feel safe. We have this crown activation here again, seeing the truth, knowing the truth, comforting yourself, being guided by your heart here. Yeah, divine protection. Also setting those healthy boundaries for yourself is definitely a must. Protecting your peace at all costs, even when the outside world is very chaotic, because, you know, and right now the outside world is very chaotic. Everybody's in a state of fear. You know, there's a lot of gossip, a lot of people who are just, you know, afraid of how they're going to make the ends meet. They're afraid of what the world has been revealing, you know, all the shadows, all the secrets that have been kept from society. You know, a lot of people just have been living in their own world, in their own bubble, and a lot of truth is being revealed right now. A lot of light has been shown on these shadows, and so a lot of people are just in a state of fear and worry and anxiety, and you are somebody who is able to ground in that peace and to shine a light and to offer peace, to offer support and harmony, because you have such a strong connection to yourself and your intuition. You're a bright light, and that's why people are drawn to you, and that's why people want to pull on your energy. And you have to be able to set those healthy boundaries for yourself, so that people don't pull on it, and that sometimes you can be unaware where people are trying to use your energy and tap into your energy to give them, you know, support, to give them light, to give them reassurance that everything's okay. And here, like, you can do that, like, you can offer your love and your support, of course, but be aware of when you are burning out, like when there's too much fire, when you're giving too much and you're not restoring and replenishing your energy. And sometimes when you do that, you get out of balance because you're giving too much, you're shining that light for everyone, and what they need to do is to learn how to create that light within themselves, how to find that peace within their own being. And you may be a teacher for that. You may be somebody who teaches others how to listen to their own intuition, to listen to their own higher guidance, because you have been learning to do that yourself. Pile number 2. Wow, and you have the matriarch. Did we already look at this one? Yes, we did. Nurture the harvest. Let me put this one down. Let's put her over here. Okay. And it's a number 3. Beautiful. So you have 33. So you got 22, 44, and 33. Look at that. 33 is it is a master teacher number connected to the, again, spiritual connection, your higher self, Christ consciousness coming through. A teacher for the Christ consciousness. And we have Mother of Air. Boundaries. Yay. Setting those boundaries to protect your heart. See, we have these 2 motherly energies here who are protecting the inner child. Protecting your peace here at all costs. Yeah, allow these distractions to just, it's choosing what you want to engage in. Choose peace, follow your heart, follow your intuition, follow your guidance. Okay. We have card number 8, cycles of growth, strength, achievement, accomplishment here. Stepping into a new timeline as well. Ascending, infinite possibilities. Didn't I turn you off? I thought I turned this on. Set those healthy boundaries for yourself. Make sure that you are still flowing, that you're open to receive, because there's something that's coming in for you here. Which is why you need those strong boundaries, so that when you do receive things, you have to have strong, healthy boundaries that you have in place that helps you to be able to say no, and that may be something that you've had to battle with in the past, is being comfortable saying no when people are pulling on your energy, when people are asking you for help, for support, and it's good to want to help people, of course. But know when you're coming out of balance. Know when you are going against your own feelings, your own gut instinct. If your body and your heart is saying, no, I really don't want to do that, it's going to bring, chaos. It's going to bring, regret later on. Or, I really don't want to do this, but I'm afraid I'll let them down, or I'm afraid they're going to be mad at me. You have to have those strong, healthy boundaries to be in place so that you know when to be comfortable saying no. I appreciate you asking me. I appreciate the thought, but I'm going to have to, turn you down. I'm not feeling up to it. Yada, 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 whatever you got to say. You know what I mean? That asserts that boundary where you are protecting yourself, listening to your intuition, following those gut instincts, honoring your heart, honoring how you feel, honoring your emotions, honoring your energy levels. I'm just not up to it. I'm not feeling well. I need to take some time out. I've been doing too much lately, and I really need to just pull back a little bit. Being open and honest and expressing that with yourself and with these people. And anybody who truly loves you and cares about you, they're going to honor and respect those boundaries. And if they have an issue with it, and if they start lashing out, that just shows you that, they don't care. They're not honoring how you feel. They're just there to take from you. They're not respecting your boundaries. It's only serving them when you're giving and when you're shining your light and you're pouring into their cup. And to have you pour into your own cup, oh my goodness, like they shouldn't have an issue with you, taking care of yourself and taking care of your energy levels, your mental body, your emotional body, your health should be of concern to them as well, What do we have? We have the prayer, all right? This is your connection here. Listening and honoring that connection. A prayer is when we ask something from Source, Creator, God. So when in doubt, or when you have, when you're unsure, ask for guidance. Ask your higher self. Ask your ancestors. Ask the angels. Ask Source, Creator, God. Ask for help. Ask for guidance. When to pull back your energy, and when to help, when to step in. This will be a guiding source for you. And meditation is the opposite of prayer. So prayer is us speaking to God, and meditation is us listening to God. So make sure that you stay balanced with those energies. If we're putting the energy out, we also have to restore the energy and bring the energy in, right? That's how we stay in that flow of fire and water. We want to, yes, create and assert ourselves, but we also want to pull back and withdraw and receive and connect and go within, okay? So your reading pile number 2 is all about balance and integrating balance and staying stable within that balance of going with the flow, listening to your intuition, acting on your intuition, when to act, when not to act, when to pull back, when to ask, when to receive. Being the peace amongst the chaos here, who to entertain, who not to entertain, who engage with, who not to engage with, engage with. Okay, so this is going to be things that you may not be aware of here. We have the serpent. This says a sly and subtle approach is needed. Usually when I see a snake, this involves patterns here, but there may be somebody here who, doesn't have your best interest at heart. This could be somebody who has a sly energy. They're very sly in the way, slick in the way that they manipulate, or the way that they try to absorb your energy or distract you and take your time and your attention. We have the hourglass. Time is of the essence here. Time for shift, time for growth, time for forward movement, time for you to evolve out of these old cycles, these old relationships, these old patterns. Aha, I knew I felt that. All right, so there is somebody, who's wanting to sabotage your energy. They're wanting to prevent you from, your harvest, from you ascending, from you moving forward, from you shining your light, you stepping into your divine path, from you rising up, There's somebody who I feel like there's a little bit of jealousy with the green coming through on the snake, a little bit of envy of your gifts, of your light, your ability to set boundaries for yourself and for others. This may be somebody who's kind of close to you with the soulmate here. They may be jealous of a relationship that you have, the relationship you have with yourself, or the relationship you have with an individual, or your relationship with the divine, even with the prayer card. Some people may be, just jealous of your light, your divinity, your growth, your spiritual connection. Oh yeah, it is. Somebody is trying to prevent you from growing, from moving forward, from ascending. It is, You're afraid. And we have cold and control coming through. This is somebody who's like they're kind of like hidden in plain sight. Ooh, the dogs are going off. Yeah, there's an alarm here. Somebody who's not loyal. They're hiding their feelings. They're wearing a mask. You can't quite see who this person is, who this individual is. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to pause just in case because the dogs, I'm going to go see what they're barking at. Be right back. Okay. So yeah, this person is, I feel like they're silently envious of you, and they're frustrated because things haven't been working out for them, and they're not addressing their own feelings. They're not addressing their own situations. And they see you shining your light, they see you growing, they see you moving forward, you're expanding, and they're a little envious of it, right? And it's only due to them not addressing their own situations, their own fears, their own feelings of lack or worthiness, you know, because the thing is, like, we can all attain, you know, this beautiful connection to the divine. We can all connect to our higher self. We can all connect to our heal our innocence and find that connection, but we have to be willing to do the work. We have to step into that role and make those conscious choices to decide, you know, what we want to do with our life, how we want to be living, who we want to have a relationship with, our relationship with ourselves, and what we want to do with our time and our energy, and how are we utilizing our gifts and utilizing our time, and are we wasting our time, you know, sitting in the past or holding on to relationships or situations that no longer serve us, and are we choosing to move on and to move forward, you know? And that's the thing. I feel like you are growing, and this individual is seeing that take place, and they're wanting to like hold you back. Yeah, there we go. Stop coming through. They're wanting to stop you and prevent you from moving forward. And we have strength. Stand in your strength. Stand in your truth. All right. Hold on to your sovereignty, your right to shine your light, to have that strong connection with yourself, to protect your heart, to set those healthy boundaries, and to reject entertaining these people, this experience, this individual who just wants to soak up your energy and soak up your time and manipulate you and gaslight you, you know, out of their own fears of being rejected themselves. We have smoke. You know, smoke and mirrors. This is what you can't see. This is what's hidden from you, right? Which is what we were saying. You're not seeing that there's somebody amidst your space, your time right now, and they're holding you back. They're holding you down with the lead here. There's somebody who's stuck, and they can't see their way out. They can't see a way forward. Or they do, but they're not wanting to budge. They're rejecting the work, you know what I mean? They're refusing to move forward. They're refusing to let go. They're refusing to see where they can take responsibility. They're refusing to act. They're refusing to step into their power and to set those boundaries for themselves. And so they truly do, like, look up to you. They see you grow, they see you expanding, but their fear is wanting to prevent you from moving on. They want to keep you held back. It's almost, you know, like they're wanting to control you. They're wanting to control. We have control coming out 2 times, and sabotage your growth, sabotage you from moving on. sabotage you from seeing your own light, seeing your strength, from setting your boundaries so that you can receive what's been trying to come into your world, trying to come into your reality. And you have this right to choose here with sovereignty. Choose who is worthy of your time, who's worthy of your energy, who's worthy of your heart, pile number 2. And it's time for you to step into that, to let go of this relationship, to let go of any fears that you have about stepping into your strength, stepping into your power, holding those firm boundaries and deciding what's worthy of you, you know, and having a healthy relationship, keeping that relationship with yourself the main focus here. I love me, and I love me more than somebody who's wanting to hold me down and hold me back out of their own fears and trying to control me and control my path and my destiny and prevent me from moving forward because they're not willing to do their own work, okay? All right, so pile number 2, I'm going to get you some animal guides to offer you wisdom and guidance, ones that you can call on for support and strength to help you hold this firm foundation and boundary and connection to yourself, regardless of the energies that are surrounding you, for you to focus and hold that line to be more balanced and stable in that balance. Balanced to stay calm even amongst the chaos around you, right? To always tune into your center, to your strength, and not let anybody to distract you or can attach themselves to you and try to hold you down and pull you back, okay? So let's see who we have. We have the Wolf with Pathfinder. Release your past and start a new journey. You are a teacher and you help others find their way. There will be challenges, but your soul is strong. Perseverance is your secret power. You have a love that endures. I love that. So it's about finding your own path and always listening to your intuition and trusting yourself. It says that you are a teacher, so you're here to teach others. This is part of your mission. You're meant to be a guide. You're meant to teach others how to step into their sense of authority and set those healthy boundaries for themselves. We have the butterfly with rebirth. You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have the brilliance to share. Yeah, you have the brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. Beautiful. So there's this opportunity for rebirth, right? To ascend higher, to move on, to move forward, and to embrace everything that you've been through. And that's part of what you're here to teach others, is how to reinvent yourself, how you don't have to let the stories of your past, and the things that you've been through be something that deters you from stepping into your light, from stepping into your strength, from connecting to who you truly are. You know, we are not our mistakes. We are not what happened to us. It has been part of the journey, and it's given us lessons. It's given us wisdom. It's given us our strength to stand on. And we have the bee with community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Beautiful energy coming through here. This is about you creating your life, you creating from a place of being centered and knowing who you are, knowing what you deserve, setting those healthy boundaries. And you are such a bright light. You do bless everything that you touch. That's why everybody wants to be around you. That's why everybody wants to pull on your energy. That's why this individual is trying to hold you back, because they want it all for themselves, you know? And you're here with you're part of the light working community here, a group of other souls who are here to bring in light, who are here to help rebirth the earth, to bring in new energies, new frequencies, We have 2 more. All right, so we have the sea turtle with protection. You are a master of finding life's flow. Be in harmony with the rhythm and your path will unfold. Perseverance and you will persevere and you will succeed. You have everything you need to be protected and happy. Beautiful confirmation of finding your flow. Listen to your intuition, listen to your heart, act when you're being guided to act, pull back when you're being guided to pull back, right? But continue to move forward here, okay? And we have the humpback whale, look at that wisdom, and it says singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. Love it. Continue to keep flowing. You have such a strong emotional depth, and that's why people are drawn to you, because you know yourself deeply. You know yourself on a deeper inner level, and you have this strong connection to your higher self and your inner child, that Trinity energy here. And so you have a lot of wisdom, and you have a lot of wisdom that you're meant to share with others. So don't let these people, these individuals, hold you back and stop you from aligning to your divine purpose here, because you have a strong mission, a strong soul calling that you're meant to use your talents and your gifts for, okay? All right, pile number 2, this is what I see in your energy at this time, and things that you may not be aware of, just bringing them up for your attention, for you to make those strong choices to protect yourself moving forward, okay? Thank you all so much for joining me in the temple today. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this energy resonated with you. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story, or just let me know that this was your reading. I'd love to have you back in the future. Sending y'all lots of love. Y'all take care and have a blessed day. Hello everyone who was drawn to pile number 3. So you guys were drawn to the Lemurian Shaman as well as the Lapis Lazuli crystal. This is your energy check-in. We're going to take a look at what's taking place right now in your field, and things that you may be aware of is going to be the first part, and the second part is going to be the unseen, things that you might not know, things that are taking place behind the scenes. Okay, taking a deep breath. Alright, so you guys were drawn to the Lemurian Shaman and the Divine Feminine. So currently right now what is taking place is a deep spiritual healing. So some of you are healing the Divine Feminine within, the part of you that trusts your intuition, that listens to your heart, that allows yourself to receive healing, to receive love, to receive truth. And the first card says shadow, dissolving in gaze of truth. Nice. Going beyond fear and initiation. Okay. So it's facing our fears, facing your fears, standing in your truth. Because here's, like, shadow dissolves when we look at it, when we face our fear. We end up empowering ourselves to shine a light on those parts of ourselves that we deem unworthy or not the best part of ourselves. You know, they're not so pleasant. This represents our shame, our guilt, our wrong choices, our misbehaviors, our bad habits, the things that we don't deem worthy, you know. So it's the part of us that we hide or that we choose not to face. And with these 2 cards coming out here, this is the Divine Feminine, the Divine Mother, who wants to come through and let you know that receiving is your birthright. Unconditional love is your birthright. To be seen, to be loved, and all parts of yourself, loving every aspect of your being, because that's what makes us human. That's what makes us the divine. We chose to incarnate in this human vessel, but this is not who we are. This is this incarnation. This is the experience that we chose to take part in, as part of the divine to have this experience, so the divine could experience what it is like to incarnate in this very limited human physical body, all right? Because who we are in the spiritual realm is all love, it's all knowing, it's unity. It's not this polarity of masculine and feminine, this good and this bad. It is all one, it is all part of the whole, and we are all part of the whole. And so when we choose to incarnate in the human vessel, we forget our divine selves, we forget our light. And so we come here into the earth plane, the earth school, and there's so much density here, there's so much darkness, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of lies and manipulation and deceit and judgment. And we end up, seeing ourselves through the eyes of others instead of seeing the divine in others. And so when you have these two cards coming out here, this is a call to heal the divine feminine. So some of you may be already on that path of healing, nurturing yourself, practicing self-care, seeing yourself through the eyes of the divine, seeing yourself through your heart, listening to your intuition, healing the inner child here. We have a 7 and a 3. 7s are about spiritual insight, the perfection within all of creation, intuition. 3s, communication, the Trinity, mind, body, and spirit. Cycles, expressions of joy, even being open to receive here. All right, so I'm going to set this one to the side. We're going to take a look at what's currently in your field of awareness, and we have a miracle. That's beautiful. Miracle healing, miracle transformation. We have facade, expansion, self-worth. Good, happy to see that. We have passion and instinct. Okay, let's stop here. Okay. So, we have miracle healing, lots of growth, expanding your perception, the way that you see things, letting go of the, some of you may put on like that everything's fine and that everything's okay when it's not really the truth. You know, and it's almost like a form of protection. You know, our mind, our ego sometimes, which is the wounded masculine, it's the part of us that's been wounded, and it responds from a place of fear because it doesn't want us to be hurt again, essentially, is the reason. Kind of like, okay, let me try to think of an example. When you were younger, let's say you may have gotten picked on or bullied, maybe other people thought that you were just too much, or they didn't like your personality, and it made you just kind of like withdraw and retreat, and made you feel like you weren't good enough, and that you just kind of wanted to like hide away because you didn't feel like you fit in. And so now as an adult, you may have a hard time finding connection to people, trusting people, allowing yourself to receive love or compliments from other people, because that feeling of a lack of worth or a lack of value may prevent you from seeing who you are because of these wounds from these other people who made you feel like you weren't, seeing the way you thought maybe that you were presenting yourself. And that's all just their projection. As you get older, you'll learn that people just project their own insecurities onto others, and sometimes we end up accepting them as our own. There's something wrong with us, and it's really they're the ones who feel that way, and they don't know what to do with it, so they pass it on to someone else, project it onto someone else. And if you're highly sensitive, and I feel like you are, you may have taken that personally as there's something wrong with you, and that's not the truth. It's just what you believed, and it's a story that your ego now repeats because it's a wound. And so the ego kind of like uses that story, that narrative, to prevent you from moving forward. And it's under the guise of protection, but really it's like preventing you from ascending. It's preventing you from moving forward. It's preventing you from expanding into your self-worth and following your heart and listening to your intuition, following your instincts, you know, your gut intuition. Instead, your mind wants the control, and the mind wants you to be in your comfort zone and not grow, not expand, because it's afraid of being left behind, you know. I don't want you to change because then you won't need me. And the mind, of course we need our mind, and the mind is our divine masculine, all right? But if it's been wounded from trauma and childhood experiences, or just the challenges that make us feel like we're not good enough, we're not worthy, and we haven't healed those parts of ourselves, and the mind's always going to try to control the narrative. It's always going to try and control and hold you back and prevent you from following your passions, listening to your heart, listening to your intuition, your instincts, knowing your self-worth and growing. It's holding you back. And there's an opportunity right now in your energy field of miraculous healing. Tuning into that divine feminine, the wisdom of the heart, and healing the parts of you that you deem unworthy and unlovable. And so right now, stand in your truth, face those parts of yourself that are wounded, that are in fear, and let your gaze blind, you know, illuminate the shadows, illuminate the fear, so that you can dissolve them and show them the truth. And then you can offer your wisdom, your guidance to that version of yourself that feels alone, that feels unworthy. You can then offer a guiding hand and lead the way. Let your heart lead the way. Let the divine mother within you lead the way. We have the deviant, yeah. The parts of yourself that are a little unruly, you know, that are a little untamed. The younger version of you, you know, and children as kids, when we're younger in our youth, we aren't very disciplined, you know. We don't know ourselves that well. We don't know the world enough that well. We make choices based on reactions, you know. We don't understand our emotions that well, so we just are very reactive. We just act on impulse, you know. And as we get older, we learn not to jump to conclusions and to think before we react. We choose, well, I would say more mature people, because not everybody has had the opportunity to grow up and heal. Some people are still very reactive, and because they don't have that inner connection. And so there can be a lot of things that we end up creating in our lives that are coming from a place of chaos and pain, because we haven't faced our fears, because we haven't gotten to know our own inner demons, you know, and accepted them and made friends with them, so that we can become allies, you know, because some of our greatest gifts are hidden in our pain. They're hidden in the shadows. They're where our strength lies. Because I went through this, it gave me strength to now do this, you know. But we have to have that strength and that courage to face those fears initially, so that we can attain that beautiful wisdom from that experience. We have the shadow. Because when we creating from an unconscious place creates chaos in our world. And our relationships, things just don't work out the way we want them to, and we don't understand why we're not able to create the life that we envision for ourselves. And that's because we're creating from a place of unconsciousness. Our shadows, we're creating from a place of shadow, a place of fear, a place of lack, a lack of self-worth, a lack of value, lack of understanding. We have the Father coming through here. Things are not so black and white sometimes, you know. There's this gray area. And in that gray area is the truth. Because it's not us versus them, he, she, black, white. There's this whole rainbow, this whole spectrum that people overlook, you know, which is crazy because the colors, they're there for a reason, you know. They're different levels of experience. They're different levels of possibilities and potentials. It's not just, you know, this or that. There's so many opportunities. There's so many other experiences, so many other explanations. The Father also represents the divine masculine, you know, our opportunities to heal the mind. Some of you may lean into the masculine energies a lot, because to be vulnerable, to be in our feminine energy, makes us feel weak or vulnerable. And to be vulnerable means that we're exposed and that people can hurt us. But when we face our fears and we realize where we give our power away, how we let other people dictate our self-worth or dictate who we are, that's where we take our power back. Because we have to look at the situation, look at the individual. Whose approval are we seeking in this moment? You know, why do I value what they say about me so much? Why do I value their opinion? Whose standards am I trying to live up to? I'm just throwing some random things out for you guys because it involves your self-worth. It involves the way that you love yourself and see yourself. So there's something there about shifting, going within, healing your shadow, the parts of you that you don't think are worthy and lovable. Getting in touch with your heart, with your inner child, and bringing a nurturing, loving energy to yourself. We have Kairos. Pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. You may have been already seeing signs. This is what's in your energy field at the moment. So this is just confirmation that you may already be aware. You may already be aligning with this healing here. We have the womb, nice. And we have the castle, okay. The castle can represent a couple things. The castle can represent where you feel safe. It's meant to be a place where you know, you feel abundant, where you feel happy and successful. You know, it's about magic, magical stories and endings, the princess in the castle, but it can also represent a prison, right? Where we lock ourselves away, where we hide parts of ourselves that we don't deem worthy. It can be the cage that keeps us a prisoner, the things that we're unwilling to face. We don't want to see them, so we lock them away and we hide them. We deny that they're there. We deny how we feel. And that it's hidden in the heart, you know. But there's wisdom hidden in there. And that's why you're being called to step onto this healing path. You have this potential for miracle healing, to love yourself, to see your truth, to love who you truly are. You're not this deviant, this heretic, this unworthy, unlovable, you know, human. You are the divine. Let me try to move some of these over because I have a little bit of extra space over here. Let's use this space. Here we go. So your light is looking to be healed, to be restored. Shining your light into the shadows, into the parts of yourself that you hide away, that you deem unworthy of love, the mistakes that you may have made, the people who you allowed make you feel like you weren't good enough or you weren't worthy. This can also be society. If this was a parental figure, a father or a mother, stand in your truth here. What is the truth? Be brave enough to face your fears and face your shadows, to go within and let it go. And letting go doesn't mean that we deny, that we pretend it doesn't exist. Letting go means we allow ourselves to release the emotions that we're suppressing, to release the fear, to release the anger, to release the sadness that we feel about the experience. That's what letting go means. Letting go means we allow our emotions to flow. We don't suppress them and hold them down. We allow them to exist because they are a part of us. It is our truth. This was my experience. This is what happened to me, and it made me feel this way, and it broke my heart because that's the truth. It made me second guess myself. It made me turn against who I believed I was because I valued this person. And they made me feel like I wasn't good enough. They made me feel like I wasn't lovable. Or I myself don't see myself as worthy and lovable. But you have this womb here, okay? And when we're in the womb, this is the potential for creation of something new. To go within, to get to know ourselves on a deeper level, to see the possibility, to see the truth of who you are, and to step into your power. Okay, you have another 7 on the board, so we have 77. Spiritual awakening here, a higher calling, trust your intuition. And you have a number 9, the ending of a cycle, understanding the truth here, coming to the end of something. All right, so let's see what you may not be aware of, okay? And since you're going through some healing here, there may be a couple things that come up that you might not have even, you know, sometimes we can think that something didn't bother us that much, or that we have processed it and healed from it, and then it's coming up again, and we're like, what's going on? I thought I've already healed from this. I thought I already went through this. And, you know, healing isn't, you know, one and done. It's not linear. It's something that cycles. And so there may be more data to collect, more information, more light here, more releasing here, more understanding that needs to come in, because there's a belief system that's holding you back. It's preventing you from moving forward. It's preventing you from seeing the truth. And so you just need to continue to release the emotion, allow it to flow through you. And you can even ask those questions, like, what do I need to see? What do I need to release? What do I need to feel into? You know, is there something deeper here that I'm not seeing? You know, you can always ask for guidance and support. Help me to release any fears. Help me to stand in my light and to see my light, to see my heart, to heal my heart. All right, so things that you may not be aware of. We have the siren, the temptation to deny, the temptation to run away, right? We have the mystic circle. Serendipity. Nice. We have have the sun coming through with strength. And we have attract here. All right, so pay attention, all right, to the parts of yourself that you want to run away from, you know, that you want to hide and shrink, that makes you shrink. The parts that you deny how you feel, because that's going to lead you into your light, into your strength. We have serendipity. There's this new beginning waiting for you, pile number 2. When you face your fears, you open up a whole new door of opportunities. When you release and you let go, it creates more space within for something new to be created in its place, you know. We have brighter new prospects are on the future horizon here. And then we have strength and empowerment, empowering your heart. And we have attract here. This is the divine masculine and divine feminine working with one another. The heart and mind coming into alignment. No longer at odds. The heart and the mind, where the heart wants healing. It wants the love. It wants to be seen. It wants to be acknowledged. It wants to be felt. Where the mind wants to rationalize. It wants to suppress. It wants to logically look at things and not tap into the emotion of it. Because when we're younger, you know, we express our emotions very openly. And when we were younger, a lot of people were like, especially if our parents are, you know, not emotionally mature themselves and have a lot of suppressed traumas that they have also experienced they themselves. And then having now a child who, you know, children just express their emotions as they come. They just let them easily flow until they're taught not to, right? Close your mouth, hush up, stop crying, don't do that, be quiet, I'll give you something to cry about, you know, those kinds of things that we're taught when we're younger. Because they just can't handle the emotions, and children can't express, I'm crying because of this, you know, or I'm upset because of that. We don't have the emotional tools and maturity to express them, to vocalize them, you know. We can't even name them, and adults can't even name them. And that's when we assert our power, is when we can allow our emotions to flow and assign meaning to them. What does this mean when I feel this way? What is my emotion telling me here? What are my instincts saying? And listening to that. Empowering the emotional body again. Opening up the heart chakra and listening to the wisdom of it. It doesn't mean that we put on our rose-colored glasses and we deny, you know, the truth. We acknowledge the truth. We see the truth, you know, and we don't ignore our inner child, our ego. We want to accept the ego, but we want to train the ego. Okay, so here's an example. So, like I was saying about being afraid of your self-worth, and, you know, maybe stepping into a relationship. Maybe you've been in a relationship where you have been wounded, where your heart's been broken, you trusted the wrong person. Maybe you did wear those rose-colored glasses and you believed in their potential and what they could be, but their actions they never matched up to the words that they said. They told you one thing and they did another, and you just kept forgiving them, giving them opportunity after opportunity, and they just continued to do the same thing over and over again. And you ended up maybe making that hard choice and deciding, okay, I'm walking away, I can't do this anymore. But there's this feeling of a lack of self-worth because you didn't have those healthy boundaries in place, right? And so now, let's say you have addressed where your lack of self-worth came from. You know, in my past, I was told to always put everybody else's needs before my own, to have compassion and empathy for people who've gone through certain situations, and it ended up making you kind of like a doormat where you didn't learn how to set those healthy boundaries and demand a certain level of respect and having self-value and self-worth. You weren't taught that part of it. You're only taught to just give unto others as you want to receive, but not learn how to then set that healthy boundary that says not to tolerate somebody who's treating you like you are a piece of crap, you know, for lack of better words here. So now the heart, because when the heart gets wounded like that, it's afraid to open up and be vulnerable. And so it keeps you stuck in a pattern of not being able to receive, not being able to connect. And so the mind ends up bringing that up again. Anytime you want to be vulnerable, anytime you want to open your heart and find love or to reach out and connect, your mind's, the ego that was wounded says, but wait a minute, remember this happened last time, and this happened, and you did this, and you did that. And it ends up making you retract again and go within and say, no, I'm not ready. No, I don't want to. I don't trust myself. I don't trust my heart, because when I listened to my heart, it got us into trouble. I wore those rose-colored glasses, and I believed in what they said, and it got us nowhere. And so the mind tries to limit you. It tries to control you and keep you in this pattern, in this cycle. And when we learn to face our fears and our shadows, and we go within and understand, well, why was I in that relationship? What drew me to this person in the first place? Why did I allow them to make the same mistakes over and over again and not break up with them sooner, right? And it's because I lacked self-worth. I thought that if I showed them how much I cared about them by allowing them to treat me like crap, they would see how much I loved them and love me for it. And when you say it like that, it makes no sense, right? So, but getting to know yourself a little bit more on a deeper level, this is how you can, shift your perspective, how you can see how we end up creating and attracting into our life through unconscious patterns, through unconscious beliefs about ourselves and about the world. And so with this healing that's coming in for you, you have this opportunity to stand in your heart and to empower yourself and to heal these wounds of the ego and love yourself. Love yourself through your mistakes, because you're learning, you're growing. We all are. And to forgive yourself for betraying your heart or betraying your feelings, betraying what you knew was right, ignoring red flags and allowing them to treat you like this because you loved them. You know what I mean? You loved them. And you wanted to believe, but you just put your belief in the wrong person. Your belief needs to be in yourself and believing that you are worthy and deserving of somebody who has that mutual reciprocity of love. They pour into your cup as much as you pour into their cup. And they're working just as hard on the relationship as you are. Okay? But you have this opportunity, this new beginning for happiness, to have a love, to have a partner, to love yourself even, to have this beautiful relationship with your own heart. We have clarity, that's right, to see the truth here. So it's okay to have an open heart, but know when to put up those boundaries. And that's what you're learning through this experience, learning how to allow the heart to feel, to be vulnerable, but also how to protect the heart and use the wisdom of the masculine, the protector, to be your cheerleader, to give you confidence, but also your protector, not from a place of fear, but to help you listen to your instincts. So when somebody is lying to you, when somebody's trying to deceive you, you are aware of it. You don't put on your rose-colored glasses and deny the truth. You allow yourself to be guided by the truth and to know when to protect yourself and walk away. We have love. I love that. Allow yourself to be loved by you loving yourself. You pouring into your cup first. I love me and I forgive me and I understand why I made those choices. I was looking for love in the wrong places, and it was really, I needed to love myself. I need to have more compassion for myself, more understanding of who I am and what I want in my life. We have anger. All right. I can see that. Disruption. balance and fear. Okay. So there is some anger. There may be some unresolved anger that you haven't released yet. Some fear that needs to be released. You're going to make some hard choices. And to choose you, to choose love. We also have this womb of potential. This doorway of potential here to step into. Where you attract from your heart chakra. And you balance out the masculine and feminine energies by listening, letting the Divine Mother, the Divine Feminine love, right? The heart to love and the mind to be empowering, to empower you to make those choices, empowering you to choose happiness, to choose yourself, what makes you happy, and to guide you to the truth, to see the truth so that you're not denying anymore. Not denying your emotions, not denying your anger, not denying your fear. Embrace them, understand them, question them, get to know them deeper. And ask, anger is not a bad emotion. All emotions are necessary. They are, they're signals, they're messages. Anger tells us somebody is disrespecting us, and we need to set up a healthy boundary here. I don't feel safe. You don't treat me right. You don't care about how I feel, and that makes me angry. Therefore, I need to set a healthy boundary that protects my heart. I'm afraid of being hurt. And here's the thing. It's okay to be afraid of being hurt, but step into your power here, right? I choose who I allow to hurt me by allowing them to hurt me. And sometimes we can't, prevent people from doing bad things to us, but we can choose, and this is where you take your power back, you can choose who you allow into your life. Who is allowed to sit at your table? Who's allowed to be in your heart? Who's allowed to, be a part of your inner circle here? That's where your power comes from, by you making those conscious choices. And therefore, you don't have to sit in a place of being a victim. You can empower yourself by always knowing that you can make a choice. You are not without choice. Oh, and you have the sun coming out twice. I love this. Your power lies in your own hands here. Empowering yourself. Being brave to step up, to face your fears, to move forward, to say, I am, I see, I connect. I'm opening my eyes to the truth here. We have chaos. Yeah, this is the web that has been spun, the fear, the lies. But also in the chaos, things may seem chaotic when there's a lot of disruption, a lot of things that are being tossed about. There's no solid ground. This is where the womb of potential comes from, because things have to fall apart in order for things to fall into place, okay? So there may be a little bit of chaos, there may be disruption, but it doesn't mean that you're not growing and that you're not moving forward. You're just breaking up these old patterns. You're choosing something better for yourself now. And that's the womb of potential, growing something new. Becoming something new. We have the despicable phase. Yeah, the parts of yourself that you are ashamed of, that you hide away, that you don't want to see. It's time to stop denying them and walking away from yourself, because it's you. See it as your inner child, okay? Not that card here. I'll pay no attention to the words. So this is the younger version of you, and this is you guiding yourself, okay? Holding your hand. So the younger part of you is the part that's being denied right now. the wounded part, the one that's afraid, the one that's been abandoned, the one that doesn't feel accepted, that feels alone. And right now there's this opportunity to reconnect to that part of yourself and to offer your wisdom, to offer your love, to offer your hand, to guide yourself to become this wise being here, to be loved, to be parented, to be seen, to be accepted, to be held, to know that you are always safe in your hands, in their hands, right? Learning to embrace who you are and walk hand in hand together. The mind, or the heart and the mind here. The wisdom and your love, you know, the part of you that wants to be loved and seen and acknowledged. And this is you learning to love and acknowledge all parts of yourself so that you can become one again. So it's not the masculine and the feminine at odds with one another. It's learning to love each other just as you are. All parts of yourself. The parts that we deem unworthy, and learning to love all parts of who we are, the good and the bad and the indifferent here. Because we can do that for others. We can forgive other people and their mistakes and their flaws, but we tend to forget about ourselves. We deny that we ourselves have parts of ourselves that we don't like so much, but it's who we are. It is the humanness in us. But the human is just the experience that we've been through. We are the divine, and we should love all parts of ourselves so that we find peace. And we won't see peace in the world until we end up in loving ourselves. We have to love and forgive who we are and make peace with who we are, so we're not at war within, and we can have that connection, that wholeness within our own being, and then that creates the peace around the world. So the more of us who find peace within, who have that strong connection within our own selves, we can look at ourselves in the mirror and love who we are and embrace everything that we've experienced, everything that we went through, all the choices that we made, and come to an understanding of why we made those choices, what we were looking for outside of ourselves, and then learn that we needed to it was within our own hearts this entire time. Everything that we were looking for was within our own heart. We're just looking to be loved unconditionally. But it comes from us loving ourselves, from us giving our own conditional love to our own selves. And then once we begin to pour into our own cup and into our own hearts, then we will be seen for who we really truly are. And then we will attract somebody who sees that light, who sees how much we love ourselves, and they want to be that person for us as well. Oh my God, I love the way that you love yourself, the light that you shine. You have such a magnetic energy to you, and it's very attractive, you know. And you won't attract somebody who's just trying to use you, manipulate you anymore. You will attract somebody who you can fall in love with and have that complete soul connection, because you have that healthy relationship with yourself. You will have that attract a healthy relationship with another, okay? Everything starts within, and don't be afraid to go within, because you're facing yourself. That's truly what you're doing, is facing yourself and learning to love and embrace all parts of yourself. The emotions, everything. All right, you guys, so I'm going to get you some final cards to close out your reading. These are going to be some animal spirits to help guide you on the path going forward through the energies that you're going to be experiencing, or that you are experiencing currently. Pile number 3. Ooh, we have the frog with prosperity. Let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. Oh, I love it. Okay, so abundance can be so many things, right? Abundance of love, abundance of happiness, abundance of support, friendship, guidance, financial prosperity, acceptance, peace. So many ways abundance can come into our life, right? Health, understanding, compassion. Ooh. You have the sea otter with happiness. Be the master of playful living. Release expectations and enjoy every day. Let worry go and instead choose love. Surrender to the waves. Your good destiny of love is sure. Beautiful. I love that this came through. So, learning to love yourself, to be open to receiving love, open your heart. Know that you're worthy and deserving of love. You deserve somebody to love you. You deserve somebody who pours into your cup, who sees your value, and they want to be that person for you, right? And you deserve that. You have this abundance of happiness that wants to come into your life, some support, but you have to surrender. You have to release what you're holding on to, release any resentment, any fear, any anger that you may have, and allow yourself to just be loved. We have abundance with the bison. Sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm through the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. All right, that's another way you can open up your heart chakra, is to be grateful. When you are grateful, it means that you have gratitude for what's in your life. Even if it's not there at the moment, when you are speaking in terms of I am grateful for the love in my life, I'm grateful to be loved, to feel love, to receive love. I'm so grateful for the people that are in my life that do love me. I love myself. All those affirmations that you can say, it opens up the channels to receive, for you to pour in, and no longer having to like chase and put the energy out and be on a seeking, chasing energy. It turns the flow of energy inwards and pulls it towards you. I am grateful for the love that I receive daily. You know, I'm grateful to have love every day in my life. All those ways that you can open your heart to receive. I am lovable. I am forgiven. I am a loved child of the divine. I am as perfect as I was created. I am blessed with love. I am blessed with a partner who truly values me and respects me and pours into me, who gives me that reciprocity. And we have the penguin with authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations and just be yourself. So with this card coming out, be authentic. This is being your true self, right? Don't try to hide your imperfections, the things that you don't deem worthy and lovable. Allow yourself to express who you are, because you're going to attract somebody who is attracted to that when you are authentic. You don't want to attract fake relationships, people who only love a version of yourself that you're presenting, but that's not the true you. It's just the mask that you're wearing. You're being asked to take off the mask and to let your true self shine, to love all parts of yourselves. You don't need to try to fit in with anybody. That's the thing. It's just being yourself. You're going to gravitate, and people will gravitate to you who appreciate your uniqueness. They will be drawn to who you are because you're shining your light. It's like, you know, people who have tattoos and stuff like that. You're going to attract people who like tattoos. If you, you know, if you're emo, I don't know, you know, all the different styles. If you're country and you're pretending that you don't like country and you're trying to project that you like pop or whatever like that, you know, the people that you're going to attract, they're going to be like, well, who's this person? I thought you were like this, but really, you know, your whole house is decorated with this country western theme, and I thought you were, you know, I don't know. I'm just throwing out examples, you guys. That's just what came to mind. But you want to be your true self, you know. You don't want to project something that you're not out into the world because you're afraid that you're not going to fit in, and you're afraid that you're not worthy. Just be yourself, okay? And you're going to attract somebody who falls in love with who you really are. And that's who you really want anyway. You want people in your life who truly appreciate you and sees who you really are, and they love that about you, you know? So it's okay to be yourself. and I'm going to encourage you to be yourself. And anybody else who, you know, if they're not your fit, if you're not their flavor of tea, then so be it. You don't need their approval. We're not going to be liked by every single person, you know, that comes into our path and on our journey, and it's okay. The right people will find you, and you will find your right people. You will find your soul family, because they're going to be just like you, and they're going to accept you for who you are. So time to come out of hiding. Love yourself. Love your uniqueness. You have a lot of happiness, abundance, and prosperity on the horizons for you. Lots of true happy connections and relationships as well. You just have to face your fears, open your heart, love yourself, stand in your truth, and let yourself be seen, and embrace your fears, question them, get to know them better, so that you're not creating from an unconscious place, okay? All right, pile number 3. This was your reading. This was what I am seeing in your energies at the moment. Thank you all so much for being in the temple with me today. I'm sending y'all lots of love. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Comment below if you feel like sharing your story. Just let me know that this reading resonated with you. I'd love to have you back for future readings. Take care and have a blessed day.